So I debated back and forth on how I was going to unbox this boy, and in general, how I wanted to do my unboxings largely. So far, all of my unboxings I've done specifically have been with the packaging that the whatever I'm unboxing came in. No shipping boxes or anything like that. I was going to do the same thing with this one, but I do think there's a certain validity, especially when we get, because, you know, inevitably there will be some things that I'm going to unbox that I won't know what they look like out of the package. I think there's some validity to getting that reaction. I think there's some value to getting that reaction. This one I'm relatively sure I've seen in store before, and obviously I know what it is, generally speaking, but I think there's still some interest in seeing my immediate reaction to the box design. So for that reason, I'm choosing to do this guy from the lovely Amazon Prime box that it came from. I've already opened it with some scissors and one of the reasons I would be hesitant to do the full unboxing from the shipping box on screen is because the aspect of opening the box with, scissors and stuff, it's just kind of a pain in the ass and wouldn't make for very good video. So I guess without further ado, see, and another thing is that it'd be nice if it was like a surprise. I could surprise you with what I'm unboxing, but unfortunately, I wouldn't really do super well unless I didn't label the video. But it's a Figma. I've been eyeing this boy for quite some time. I don't have as many Figmas as I do Ninjaroids. In fact, I only have one Figma, excluding this one, and that's the Skyward Swords link. I generally like Ninjaroids better because of the joints on Figmas I think don't look as good. But this guy, like I said, I've been eyeing him for a while. I've always really liked the Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds design, and I really like that the deluxe version comes with so many fun little doodads. Plus, it was like $35 on Amazon. You can see on the back we've got an example of poses. Let's open her up. This is Link from The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, the 2D or top-down Zelda on the 3DS as sort of a direct sequel to Link to the Past. It was kind of a big deal, and in my opinion, is one of the best 2D/top-down Zeldas there is. Perhaps only beaten by Link's Awakening. Fairly bog standard. Some of the Ninjaroids, and I don't know if the Figmas do this as much. Some of the Ninjaroids do like a little like scene in the back. You can almost have like a display. It looks like, looking at this one, there's like a little, I don't know if you can quite see on the video. There's like some, I'm gonna pull it out actually. It looks like you can do something with the box if you want. There's like a serrated area here. It looks like you can make like a little stand. I'm not entirely sure what that's for, if I'm honest. I guess it says it says a stage there. So I guess, it's just kind of a boring green square. I'm not sure if there's much value to that. I'll keep it in the box. I keep my box inside. Oh, and there's a secret. There's these. These were kind of hidden. Our 2D effects. We'll take a look at these again in a minute, I think. Here he is in all his glory. Good old Link. Oh God, it all fell. That's one way to unbox. Did anything break? I think everything's still intact. That's good. That was really dumb of me. Alright. Okay. Note to self, don't do that ever again. Anyway, here's the boy himself. Good old Link. He's a cutie. Oh, that's interesting. So he kind of has, it kind of clicks into place a little bit here. You kind of click on his leg. He's got his articulation. He's a little guy. I'll make sure to compare him to his older Skyward Sword brethren before the end of the video. He's got the power bracelet, or not the power bracelet, the bracelet that lets him turn 2D. I don't remember what it's called. The bracelet that Ravio gives you that lets you turn 2D. You can pull it off as well. Interesting that actually, I didn't expect it was gonna. It's really kind of small. A lot of really small bits and joints, fairly indicative of a Figma as opposed to an Android. He's got like really fun proportions. He's got the fun little hair. I really like this design. I've really like this design. It's a really good link, I think. Not my favorite link, but certainly a really nice one. Let's turn this down a little bit, and let's see what we got. We have. Let's pull out. Oh God, there he goes. We have one of those nice little Figma bags to keep the accessories in. I kind of wish Nendoroids came with something graphic. We've got all of his different hand poses on this little thing. This is all really similar to the Skyward Sword one, which is I guess not surprising. At the I want to call it rupee shaped, but the hexagonal Figma stand. You've got the individual posing rods here. This is a, what is this? Got the main posing rod that presumably plugs into, yeah, you can see into his back. You've got, what's this? I'm not sure what this is right off. I think we'll find out though. A little more complicated. And Figmas are more complicated than Androids, naturally. Again, kind of a, I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. I like the simplicity of the Nendoroids. I think it is fun, but and oftentimes I feel like, at least, and this might be Skyward Sword. One of the reasons I'm getting this is because one of the things that always bothered me about Skyward Sword Link is that he doesn't have, his facial expressions leave a lot to be desired. He's very oh, that's what that is. He's very he has two facial expressions, stalwart and yelling. Link Between Worlds Link has a smiling face and I believe yelling, or an angry. So he already has a fairly neutral smiling face that I think is more interesting to pose with than Skyward Sword just kind of grimace, which, because this is closer to what Skyward Sword has just by default, and then he also has a yelling. It doesn't lend itself necessarily to fun poses, I don't think. But Link Between Worlds Link, I can always, I'm even just posing like this. Like this is, I think this in and of itself is kind of satisfying. He's posing like a hero. He's got that grin on his face. I don't know. It might, again, it's also possibly just I don't like the design better, but you know, I'm curious to see how it'll go. Our instruction manual. It explains how most of this works. There's a lot of different ways of getting this stuff together. Methods of mounting the tornado rod, method of Master Sword, equipping illustration of the wall merged link. That's what this is for. This is a stand for the get a look at it. The wall merged link that it comes with. That I actually kind of thought was a I thought that was a pre-order bonus. Unless you think of something else. I guess while I'm here, I can complain about that a little bit. I hate that the Figmas and Nendoroids have these little like pre-order bonuses. If you get them from Good Smiles store, because it's like not necessarily viable as someone from America for me to do that, and it bums me out that I can't get, like, when there's significant things like, is this right? This might not be the right piece. Oh my gosh, there it goes. That was inevitable. I think this doesn't really stand as quite like I was expecting. It doesn't really stand up, which is why I'm confused. I might need to do a little more poking around, see exactly what all these pieces are. Let's see, I'll go over the pieces real quick before I cut to posing, I guess, which is going to be, spoiler alert, probably at least different lighting, because I'm planning on doing posing a different day than me actually unboxing this, guys. I don't have a lot of time after work, and I wanted to do the unboxing because I wanted to play with my new toy, but I'll do the posing and do the posing bits later in the week. He's got the Hylian shield. He's got a pot. It's actually hollow inside, so that's fun. You can put something in the pot. I can already imagine good poses with him on the pot. He's got the angry face, like I said. He's got the Hookshot, which is a really fun piece, I think. And it also comes with the extended hook, so you can pose them like that. This reminds me of the extended grappling hook with Nathan Drake, albeit a little bit more, obviously a little bit thicker. He's got a Malamai, little Malamai, kind of a cutie. Got some fun poses with that. He's got the Master Sword, of course. This is pretty similar in build to the Skyward Sword Master Sword. A little bit shorter, I believe. Definitely have to compare those two. He's got the Tornado Rod, which I think there's another piece to this somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. I need to figure out where that went. But Tornado Rod, and of course it's got that 2D effect for the Tornado Rod. I haven't pulled it out of the bag yet, but see how that all poses together. I'm really excited about that pose. He's got a green rupee, nicely molded green rupee. And it's got a bomb, good old bomb, with which to bomb a dodong. Oh god, I put it in the pot. Oh god, that was a mistake. Oh god. Oh god, I made a mistake. I made a mistake instantly. Alright, yeah, we'll cut to, here we go, we'll cut to posing. I broke the damn ass Hookshot. I broke it. I broke it. I broke it. Guys, I broke it. Every time, man. This is the worst. Anyway. I hate this. I'm going to super glue this back together because I broke it. Trying to pull off the Hookshot so I could put it in his hand. This is the thing about Figmas. They're really cute. They're really small. They're so small. They're so breakable, you guys. So breakable. Okay, I've actually changed my mind. Bear with me, I'm still trying to figure out how to do unboxings for things that are more significant than Pop-Tarts flavored like candies. I've actually decided instead of doing a posing overview, I'm going to do just a general overview on the various pieces and how they work now that I've looked over them. That way, I feel like a posing overview makes more sense for a review video later down the line, since I would like to do some like proper, like genuine ass reviews at some point. So instead I'm just going to go over the kit at its most basic, give my first impressions, and then we'll be done here. It'll be great. It'll be super good, guys. Don't worry about it. So here's Link, with a little bit of, maybe not the best lighting in the world. I'm still trying to work with the fact that it's dark out and my room probably needs another lamp. Here he is. Here's our boy. Here's our boy. It's Link. First, you can pose him with the stand like so. Oh goodness, it falls over. You can pose him with the stand like so. The Figma stand, Figma posing stand clicks into the Figma base, and then the Figma clicks into Link's back as well. It feels really large for him, like more so than Skyward Sword Link. We'll probably go over that later in like a comparison review type thing that I want to do. But it's really big on him. As for the figure himself, like you'd expect, he has a lot of points of articulation. His tunic is slightly rubbery, as well as has additional tunic to make sure that the poses come out right. Like you can see, it has some overlap here on the legs so his tunic can go a little bit further than you'd be able to otherwise, just so the poses will look good. It's thin and easily bendable on the arm as well, on the shoulder as well, so you can move his arm all around. He's got articulation on the elbows. He's got articulation on the wrists, and the wrists pop off to get different arm effects. And then he's got the hat swivel on the back that You can pose it from here to about here, and most of the poses, I'll admit, look a little bit silly. This one's not too bad, but it's kind of a little silly when it's not kind of pointed face down. It feels like it's because of the sharp curve on the hat, it feels like maybe a little bit less easy to pose than if it would just been a little more straight like I've seen on other links. His knees bend, his thighs bend, his feet swivel, and he also has the go-to Figma addition of having these little toe joints for posing like that for walking. That's the main figure. He has a lot of accessories, as I mentioned earlier. The pot has nothing special, but it's hollow on the inside. You can't do much with that. We'll go over, let's see. There's the rupee, which has this little piece, which is a stand for the rupee. It clicks into the it slides in the bottom here. Now you can put it on the ground, as if just like the rupee would be floating, and like Legend of Zelda. The rupee has a nice transparent plastic to it that looks really nice, I think, with the slight downside of the transparent plastic meaning that the stand bit is visible. A sort of an unfortunate side effect. The Malamai doesn't have anything special going on. It's just flat, nothing on the bottom to pose with. You can just kind of put them down. The bomb has the same hole on the bottom as the rupee, which can be used to hold it like so. There might also be some joints. I don't think there are though, for holding it in Link's hand. I don't think he has anything like that, but you can also have the bomb sort of sitting on the ground like that if you don't want to just set it down. The small hole in the center also means that it just kind of naturally, it can kind of balance on its top there a little bit, which is nice. The Hookshot, and bear with me here a second, I did kind of break it, has the handle, comes off here, and if you have any familiarity with it, and it has this piece that goes in. Be careful with this piece, it is what I broke. I had to super glue it back on. It should be pretty good by now, I would think, but with it, you can have it like that. You can put Link's hand in it when it's off. This isn't quite in all the way. Can I put this in all the way? Oh, and I broke it again. Okay, cool. You'll have to glue that back together and get a more solid. That's gonna be a tricky boy, I think. Okay, I'll have to figure out exactly how I get that together. To hopefully get that fixed. Unfortunate, but we'll figure that out. Just be aware that is very, very possible that you can have your piece break here at this juncture point. The hook comes off the shot, and you can replace it with the extended hook for good posing. It's rad. I really hope I can fix it because this is easily one of my favorite pieces in the set. I've always really liked the Hookshot aesthetically. The tornado rod is actually a little disappointing now that I've looked at it. This comes off here so you can put it in Link's hand, and this top part comes off so you can put on the 2D effect. This boy. The 2D effect, you slide the top bit through the hole here, slide the rest of the tornado rod on here, and you have the full assembled tornado rod. It's loose enough that you can even spin it. I don't think you can get it tight enough. The 2D effect's really nice. It has this sort of painterly quality to it that matches the cutout Link. Both of them are printed really, really well. I'm actually really impressed with how good these prints look. I was expecting them to be worse. I'm a little disappointed though because there's no separate plastic pieces for the tornado rod's leaf prongs. I was hoping you could pose with it more, but it's pretty much just this, just the one pose. It also seems a little bit small to me in comparison to Link. We'll see. I'm not sure how it's kind of. It might just be an effect of the fact that since we're talking in the game a chibi character, a very different proportion character with the rod, it looked bigger in comparison to him. So it's a little strange in that regard, but not bad. We have the shield and sword. You have the Master Sword. It comes off here, and you can slide Link's hand on here. Note that the tip does not come off on this version. I think the Skyward Sword had the tip come off, so you, and I believe also the there are some other swords that have the tip, that have this part come off as well, but It's just this, so don't try to pull it off too much more. And then we have the Hylian shield. This is a really similar piece to the Hookshot. So be careful with this one. I noticed that it's actually a lot smaller, which might be why it works a little bit better on this one. But it has a similar handle piece that has it come off like that, and then you can have him hold this, and then this is made to go over his wrist. It's all very similar to the Skyward Sword Link, and sort of vaguely demonstrate. I don't feel like putting it on all the way, but you can kind of vaguely demonstrate that would go something to the effect of that over his wrist, whereas with his proper hand piece that would hold the actual handle of the shield. Very similar to the Skyward Sword Link. Figma. The hair pops off, like most, and then you can replace his face with the angry face. Now he's an Angie boy. You can pop the hair back on. Now he's an Angie boy. Look at him, so mad. He's so mad. He's so mad that the lighting's kind of bad and that his Hookshot broke. Rip. Oh, okay. So yeah, actually, so his hand does have. I didn't even notice this. His hand does have a little hole, a little peg on it that you can use to hold the bomb in place. So you don't have to worry about having to balance it. Does it also work with the rupee? I don't think it does. No, the rupee's not really going to work with that just because of how it's, well, maybe kinda, not really. He also has a flat hand that doesn't have the. So he has two open hands. He has two sets of open hands. The ones that have the peg that can hold the bomb, and the ones that are just regular. You could use them to hold the pot or something like that. I'm probably gonna try that pose out for sure. He's got these ones that have the hole in the inside the grip, so that you can have him hold the Hookshot or the Master Sword. And then the last piece. Oh, and then there's also a spare joint for his. I believe this is for his hands. It's really small. This is a really small figure. Like I was already kind of impressed with how small the Skyward Sword Link, but this one is even smaller, which is one of the reasons why it broke on me. But okay, so the last piece is this, which is a bit disappointing because it goes into this like that, like I thought initially, which causes it to bend a little bit, which throws me off. It also doesn't stand up on its own. I don't understand why they didn't add another piece here. What this does do is it connects into the sand like this. The consequence of this being is that you can pose him in the air or like maybe against a wall or something fairly easily. But with just the pieces that come with this Figma, there's no way to pose both regular Link Between Worlds Link and painted Link Between Worlds Link, which I think is kind of a shame and a missed opportunity. All in all, not a bad figure. I have a little bit of concerns over some of the pieces, but a lot of the accessories are really neat. It comes with a lot. I'm really looking forward to posing him with his various items. Like I said, I'm thinking about I'll probably do some sort of review series with some of my Figmas, Nindoroids, and probably even my Amiibo. And in that I will talk more about him and his poses. One more thing before I go. I'm gonna grab my Skyward Sword Nindoroid. We can have a quick size comparison. And you can immediately see they made him very, very small indeed. He's a small boy with small pieces that break. How could you? How could you do this to me? That's Link. Oh, fix that Hookshot.